One of the movies I loved growing up was Jerry Maguire, because in that movie, it's about a sports agent who says four famous words: "Show me the money." And so if you're watching this video, I want to help show you the money, okay? So if you're watching this, you fall into one of three buckets. Either one, you have a book and you want to learn how to monetize it. Love that. Number two, you want to write a book so you can make money. Or number three, you honestly clicked the wrong button, but you might stick around because you like figuring out ways to make money, aka lots of it. All right, so my name is Jake Kelfer. I'm a 4-time best-selling author, and I teach people how to write, publish, and launch nonfiction books to monetize their knowledge and expertise. Okay, and I'm going to share with you, in this video, I'm going to share with you why writing a book is not only a great way to make money, let alone why I believe writing a book is one of the best marketing assets you can have in your business, but I'm going to show you why writing a book is a fantastic way to monetize your knowledge with ease. Now, even more than this, okay? I want to show you that when you write a book that encompasses these four things, you pre-sell your readers, which makes them more than likely to take the next course of action once they complete your book. You see, here's a big problem that we see all the time when it comes to book reading is people buy books with the great intention that they're going to write it. And then one of two things happens. It either never gets opened and it goes onto their bookshelf and collects dust, or number two is they open it, but they aren't hooked and then they don't finish the book. Well, what we want to do is we want to create lightning books, 150-page books or less, that encapsulate your message, your story, etc., so that people can not only open your book, but that they can finish your book. Because when people finish your book, it means that they're probably really enjoyed it if they got all the way through it, right? But two, what it really does is it sets the stage for what comes after. And if you want to monetize your knowledge and you're going to write a book to do so, this is a really, really, really great strategy. And so I have people all the time, for example, they're right here, big idea to bestseller. People read that book and then they reach out to us and say, how do we work with you? Why? Because the book got them to where they want to go. It got them some initial wins, but now they want additional support. Now, I will say this. I want to say this very, very clearly. We are not writing just a baby book that has no content and that's full of BS and just trying to get people to buy our stuff. That's not what we're trying to do here. And if you want to do that, that's great, but that's not what I'm going to share with you how to do. Okay? We're not creating a pitch fest. We're not going to create a fluff piece. But what we are going to do, and to do this right, you need to create a great book that gets the reader the result you promise. Oftentimes, this is in the title or the subtitle, where you tell the reader, this is what you can learn. And even more, this often comes out in the introduction, where I love to answer 3 questions. Who are you? What's the problem? Why are you the person to solve that problem? All right, and what we want to do is lay out the expectations of what a reader could do. Because we don't want to waste their time and we don't want them to waste our time. We want to find the right fits for us. And this is how you're going to monetize your knowledge. Now, when you're writing this book, I've come up with 4 things that I believe that if you include all 4 of these, you're going to not only pre-sell readers into wanting whatever you have to offer, but you're also going to connect with your readers and you're going to create a really high quality book that focuses on service, that focuses on impact, that focuses on actually doing what you say you're going to do, which I think is one of the most important things ever. So here's the first thing that you want to make sure you include in a nonfiction book. And yeah, just to specify, I'm talking about a nonfiction book that you're going to use to monetize, whether that's building credibility, whether that's coaching clients, speaking engagements, consulting deals, leading retreats, running masterminds, digital products, physical products, but you're creating a nonfiction book that's going to then turn into back-end opportunities. There are 4 things that I believe needs to go in each one of these books, okay? And if you do this right, you're going to be able to monetize a great book with a lot of ease. The first thing is you need to include your personal story. You don't need to include everything that's ever happened to you. You don't even need to include every story that you can think of. You only need to include the right stories that are relevant to helping the reader get the result or that make them connect. And the reason that we include our personal story and we don't just make it a textbook is because we need to build trust and relatability. And when you share your story and you talk about your personal experiences and you're either vulnerable if that's what the story calls for, or you're honest, or you showcase the results you've gotten, this is part of your story. This allows people to trust you, okay? Because here's the thing, and I've learned this after building multiple businesses and working with tons of people in the entrepreneurial and business sector, is this. People ultimately want to work with people they have things in common with. They trust them more easily. They want to work with people that they enjoy. They want to work with people that they like. They want to work with people that they trust. I know for me, My last big investment was with someone who I trust. Why? Because I know who they are. I know about their backstory. I relate to them. We connect. And so when it came to working with them, of course I'd rather work with them than someone who I don't really know or I don't have anything in common with. All right? But here's the other kicker. When you share your personal story, you can connect on a deeper level because people can see that you've already gone through what they're currently experiencing. And this is an unbelievable way to really build that trust and that relatability with your reader. And the right stories at the right time can really help the person be like, wow, if they've done it, maybe I can too. The second thing that we really want to focus on here, if we want to write a book to monetize your knowledge, is you must share your expertise. Okay? Now, just as we didn't want to have a textbook only, which is why we had our story, we don't necessarily want just a life story about ourselves. We want our life story mixed with what we're actually knowledgeable about so that the person can actually see that we're legit at what we say we're legit at, right? And so by putting in your expertise throughout the book, you're going to establish your credibility with the audience and with the reader. And by doing this, you're going to showcase to the reader that you actually know what you're talking about. Now, whether you have 20 years of experience and you've just shared what you've learned and figured out, whether you have traditional schooling, maybe a doctorate, maybe a master's, maybe you're a financial planner, maybe you've gotten your coaching certification, okay? Whatever it is, maybe it's just your own personal transformation. But whatever it is, you're going to share your expertise in the book so that you can establish your credibility, which makes the person know that, okay, they're legit. They've spent time, they've spent energy. This is their process. This works. Maybe it's going to work for me. Now, the third piece of what you're going to include in this is you got to include your methodology. This can be a signature method. This could be a framework. This could be a coaching program that you're turning into the book. This could be your keynote that you're kind of breaking down into the order of which you teach it. But at the end of the day, what you need to include in this book, we got our stories, we got our expertise, but now we need our framework for this whole thing. What is the process that you're going to teach the reader so that they can get the result with the least amount of resistance, right? Now, if you didn't go through this experience and it was just so easy for you and you didn't struggle, well, that would be the order of which you would teach it. But most of us who overcome adversity, who go through a transformation, we didn't have all the pieces at first. Otherwise, we wouldn't have struggled. If I had a book coach and a company like Big Idea to Bestseller helping me on my first book, I wouldn't have had to go through the trials and the tribulations of struggling, calling Amazon support at midnight and freaking out days before the launch and doing all these crazy things. And so what you want to do is you want to share your methodology. What is the order? What is the way in which the reader can implement in the right order? And what this is going to do is this going to establish in the reader's mind that there's a possibility that they could have the same results. This is a really, really powerful thing because when a reader believes that I can do it, one, they're probably going to try to do what you say to do. But also, when they say I can do it, they're going to be more excited about it. And when people are more excited about it, they're often more committed. And when they're more committed, we just know that if you're committed, you get better results often. So it also helps the reader be like, well, if the author has done it and they've documented it, well, I can do it too. You want to build the belief that it's possible in a framework or a methodology or a signature system. Oftentimes, that makes it easier for someone to believe you actually know what you're talking about. Okay, and then the last piece of this is your style. You need to include your style in a book. Gone are the days where it has to be only one way and it has to be written this way and it has to follow this format. No. What you want to do is you want to create a book that represents you, your style, your personality. Why? Because this gives people a glimpse into what it could potentially look like to work with you or to support you and your business. Let me give you an example here. In my books, I'll write, let's go, with like 4 or 5, maybe 7 O's, depending on how I'm feeling. Is that grammatically correct? No. Go is spelled G-O. I know, okay, I get it. But what I can tell you is this, is that people who read that and they resonate with that big upbeat energy and that style, they feel more connected to me than if it just said, let's go, okay? And so that's what we're trying to do is showcase your style. This allows people who read your book to be like, do I like them? Do I like their energy? Do I want more of their personality? And I'll be honest with you, okay? True talk. Sometimes my energy is a major gravitational pull for some people. And they're like, oh my gosh, Jake is my guy. I need more of this energy. I need to work with him. And there are other people who they don't love the super high energy, let's go type of personality. They want someone else. Here's what's really cool about this. When you include this personality of yours into your book, it tells the reader, and the reader can determine right away if they love it or they don't love it. And that's okay. If they decide you're not the right person for them, they can go elsewhere and get the right support. And if they do find that your personality is for them, they're going to become a super fan. They're going to be all in. I can't tell you how many people have read my book and then they've worked with others and they go, I want Jake energy. I just need Jake energy in my life. And it's not because I'm so special or anything. It's just, this is who I am. And if you love it, you love it. And if you don't love it, that's okay. I'm not trying to make everybody happy. Okay? I don't need everybody to like me or to read my books. I just need the right people to love me, my style, and my methodology. And so these are the 4 things that if you include these in a great book, you're going to not only create a great book, but you're going to set the stage for huge opportunities of monetization. So let me recap. Here are the 4 things that you need to include if you want to monetize your book. Number 1 is to share your story to build trust and relatability. Number 2, it's to share your expertise, which builds credibility. Number 3 is you need to include a methodology or a framework to help build belief that the reader can do it. And then number 4 is you need to share your style and your personality. This gives people a glimpse into what it's like to actually work with you. So there you have it. These are the 4 pieces that if you include in a book, you're going to have great opportunities to monetize on the back end. And you can do this in the form of coaching, speaking, consulting, digital products, physical products, book sales, retreats, masterminds, so on and so forth. Now, if you want more information about this and you want to learn how to write a book, I want to give you a free copy of my book, Big Idea to Bestseller. Okay, just go to bigideatobestseller.com/free-book. You pay for the shipping, we'll send you a copy direct to your doorstep. And then, look, if you know that writing a book is for you, but you've struggled for whatever reason, or you want to learn how we format books and how we really help people create amazing business-changing books, then go to bigideatobestseller.com/call and we'll hop on the phone with you. We'll map out your entire game plan, create the vision of what's possible. We'll show you exactly the steps that it takes to get there. And if it's a good fit, we'll show you how we can help. And if it's not, you'll have the roadmap either way. So I hope that you enjoyed this. I'll see you soon.